Cliff, there was an article on the BBC website yesterday saying that the German publisher of Marx's Das Kapital has sold this year to date 10 times more copies than they did last year. I thought Marx was a dead theorist and totally discredited. You know, tell me, why are people interested?
I think they're interested, Mark, because he has a particular take on capitalism. People get confused about what Marx was about. They think he wrote about communism. But only a tiny amount of what he wrote was about a future communist society. 95% or more of what he wrote was about capitalism. So it's his analysis of capitalism that people are interested in because of the problems that we're facing at the moment, and that's why it's pertinent. And if you like, I can take you through his theory of crisis, which is the kind of central bit that's pertinent to what we're...
Yeah, that'd be fantastic if you could, yeah.
Well, if you stand over there, and I'll tell you all about it, right? It starts with the labour theory of value, okay, which was not something that Marx invented. This is from Ricardo and Smith, classical economists of the 18th and 19th century. But basically, the labour theory of value says that only people make and create value, right? Machines or flip charts have value, they have use value, okay, they are useful things, but the flip chart on its own can't do anything, okay, it can't create more value than it has. The only thing that can create more value out of the flip chart is if somebody does something with it, somebody does something with it. So that's the basic idea of the labour theory of value. Now, what I'm going to take you through is a very rapid distillation of a pile of books this high, okay? So the pure Marxist scholars that might happen upon this will probably be appalled at the way I'm simplifying things, but in order to get the essence of the argument over, I'll do the best I can. If we assume this is the working day, okay, it can be divided up into two component parts, all right? Now, this is the average working day, so if you look at it across the global economy, that'll be times, I don't know, 3 billion, or however many people are working, okay? Now, this part here we call the variable capital. This is the, if we start at 9 o'clock, by about 2 o'clock, okay, I have created enough value to pay for my wages, okay? All the time that I then work for the rest of the afternoon is creating what Marx calls surplus value, right? Now, surplus value is the source of profit, okay? And clearly, if this line can move, depending on various changes in the economy, which I'll briefly explain in a moment. Now, the ratio of these two, S over V, Marx calls the rate of surplus value, and we'll see how this is crucial in a moment. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, the rate of profit, which is the crucial measure here, is surplus value over variable capital, which is the amount that's funding the wages here, okay, and this thing here called C, which Marx calls constant capital. Now, this is machinery, it's bought-in material, okay, it's leather, it's whatever it is we're working with, okay, paper, all right? The reason he calls it constant capital is its value does not change, okay? It is what it is, which comes back to this basic idea of the labour theory of value. Now, his theory of crisis is based on what he calls the law of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall over a business cycle, right? Now, why it falls is actually the nub of the argument, okay? He says due to competition in markets, the capitalist, the owner of the business, can't fritter away all this surplus value in luxury expenditure, right? A significant proportion of this has to be reinvested to protect himself from competition and to gain a march on competitors. Now, because of technical improvements in the way we make things, okay, the productivity of labour has improved dramatically over the years through the introduction of machinery. Now, machinery is this bit here, all right, the constant capital. Now, over time, as the businessman invests, the ratio of constant to variable capital increases. There's more machinery working with the individual labourer, okay? And then you can see this manifested in process industries, for example, where you just see a mass of pipe work and about 2 blokes with a hard hat in the corner. I mean, that would be an extreme case, but the general tendency is still there.